there, thanks for stopping by. This is Amy. Tonight I'm going to do another brush stroke video. This video is going to show you how to paint a camellia flower, and I am going to be just basically using 3 shades of paint. For the flower petals I'm using Wicker White. I'm also using berry wine. These are all folk art enamel paint, and then I'm using Thicket and sunflower, which will be for the flower or the leaf petals. Alright, so also tonight with the brushes that I'm using are the 3/4 inch 1-stroke flat brush and a number 12 flat brush. And we're going to get started with the 3/4 inch, starting with the actual flower petals. And I'm loading my brush up about 3/4 of the way up the brush, up the bristles. Trying to get it loaded with enough paint to complete the project. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start with I typically like to start at the top and then just keep going around the flower, trying to keep it in a circular shape if possible. Now I'm just going to keep turning my paper while I'm doing this. If you want, you can actually paint one side of it and then just change your brush and move around to the next side of it. Really up to you and what you're comfortable with. And I like to do my flower sprays and sprays of 3 flowers. I just like odd numbers, or I should say odd numbers. If you want to do more than 3, that's fine. I just like to stay with odd numbers. I just think that makes it more interesting. Okay, so that's pretty round. Good enough. Alright, so then I'm going to switch over to my next size brush, which again is the number 12. And I'm going to continue on making petals. Around the inside of the flower. Still doing the same kind of stroke. And I am painting on palette paper tonight. This has a good flow to it when you're trying to do something for a demonstration purpose. I'm not intending to sell this design, so, or else I would be doing it on something more permanent. Alright, so I got the inside petals done. And I'm going to keep going with this. Going with another series of petals. Now you could on this stick with the larger brush for the second row if you wanted to. I just decided to complete the rest of this flower with the same size brush. You can do 2 or 3 layers of petals. I'm going to actually do 4. I meant 3 or 4. I'm sorry if I said 2 or 3. I meant 3 or 4. I'm not quite sure what I said, but anyways, here we go. I think it's a pretty flower. It kind of reminds me of a rose. maybe it is a breed of a rose, that I'm not sure. But this would be considered more of the open flower. Okay, there we have that. And then I'm going to finish off the center. And do the little bud in the middle. Trying to do some contrasting here, but it seems like it's all blending in. And then you just do some little random flower pools like that just around it, not too many. Alright, so we have that one. And then I'm going to actually flip it this way. It's the way I have the center going. And then I'm going to go ahead and add, I'd actually go back to the bigger brush. I'm going to go to the 3/4 brush. Do this next part, but just adding a flower bud, what a flower bud would look like on this. Might even be a lot more rounded than what mine's coming out to be. I wanted it to look a little bit bigger and not so thin. Touch the edge of the paper. Sorry about that. Alright, then I'm going to switch back to my smaller brush for the next part. And this is going to be more of one that's kind of, I don't know if it's partially opened, I guess is what you would say. I'm going to kind of wiggle it a little bit. It's kind of roughly looking. But it's not a completely open flower. Again, I'm just kind of touching and just wiggling it a little bit. Finishing off like that, and then coming back and just kind of going over it like this. Or you could wiggle a little bit too if you wanted to, which I might go back in here and do that. Just kind of wiggle the finished part off. But like I said, it's still a partial bud. It's not completely open. All right, then the next step is going to be to add in the greenery. This is kind of the fun part. Now you can actually do this with maybe a dirty brush if you wanted to have some of the green pull through here. That's fine. But I'm actually going to switch over to basically a number 12, but it's cleaned out to start mine. Now I'm going to have a mixture of just one little small leaves, and then some roughly larger leaves with it. And you're basically on this just touching. And you can go like this if you want, and then putting your brush down and wiggling it and then pulling it. And like that, you can put a little line in that one if you wish. Now we're going to just put a little vine that comes down here to this one. Not the major, just a little vine. And then if you choose to, I want to do some petals. Just kind of come across this a little bit. And again, it will be a little dirty because the paint is still wet, and that's fine. I think it gives it a pretty touch to it. And it's okay. Some people, you know, you can actually even use 3 colors when you're loading your brush if you want to, just to give it some interest. That's okay. And just kind of do a little line that comes out here like that. If you want your stem to be a little bit thicker, you can also do that too. Maybe even pull like some little there to make it look like it's connected. I mean, it is connected, but you know what I mean. And then I'm going to continue on around this flower, adding some of these bigger ruffly leaves. I don't really know what to call them. But they're bigger. And you can place them just around your flower however you want to. Overlap your flower petals a little bit. That's okay. And then just keep turning. It's one thing nice about working on paper is you can keep turning as you're doing your design, as opposed to working on something stationary like a wall. That's not so easy to do. Happy with that one, so I'm going to go back over it. You can kind of overlap on your other. I'm going to bring that wiggling down a little bit more. So it's kind of like you're washing a floor. I guess that's how I've had it brought up to me before. It's just like kind of look like you're mopping the floor. Makes sense to me. Okay, then I'm going to move up here to this bud before I complete the rest of it. I want to just put some little fun kind of leaves up in here. Just give them a little bit of interest. Main thing is to have fun with it, don't you think? I do. I just always feel like, you know, if you like what you're doing, you like how it turns out, have fun with it. That's all you can ask is just have fun. Have fun. Alright, so with this I'm going to go ahead and continue around here, just do a few more of the bigger leaves. I think these are fun to paint. Let's try to... I'm mopping the floor. Yes, I am. There we go. Put a little line through there. And then I'm going to start off here. Now again, if you want to make this a little bit thicker, you can. And you want to pull it like you're have some kind of little connecting vines there. That's great. And then we're going to start adding in just some little leaves and make them, you know, look like, oops, sorry about that. Make that one again. And what's going on here? There you go. This is the fun part. Alright, so then we're just going to keep doing this up this little vine here. And then I want to kind of have them coming out from the vine a little bit. They don't all have to be right there on the vine. Just to give it some interest. Or the kind of stationary. Kind of mix them up a little bit. I mean, and you can actually have even some going over this petal of the flower too. Because like I said, you know, you're not going to get, flower's not going to be perfect. Your leaves are going to kind of overlap each other, or you know, hit the flower petals some, and that's okay. I really like to overlap leaves. I think it's kind of makes it interesting. Okay, and then up here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here and do a little bit bigger one of the leaves, again, like I did at the bottom part of the flower. And it's going to come over the tip of that a little bit. Put a little veining there, and then I'm going to add just a couple more up here. You're just going to push and kind of twist it, push your bristles down and twist it, and add some of your little connecting vines to it. And if you wanted to add, which I think I'm going to here, let me do it like this. I'm going to add some, a little bit more down here, just to have it make sense. And finish it off. And there you have it. Like I said, if you wanted to add more leaves or put more of these, you can actually do shadow leaves, which is basically a thinning of the paint, like a single color, and then having them come out, you know, just sporadically throughout your design. Or you can just leave it like this and be done with it. But I think it's pretty easy. Looks like a pretty easy design to paint. If you have any questions, feel free to make a comment down below. If you do this type of flower, or you follow me and you're doing a sample of it, I'd love to see that as well. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please feel free to do so at this time. Make sure that you give me a big thumbs up if you like this video, and please share. I'd love for you to share my videos. If you, again, like I said, have any questions, please feel free to comment below this video. I will have links to the supplies that I've used in the video at the bottom as well, so feel free to read that. And until my next video, have a good evening. Thanks again for viewing.